CJ who is suspended.
Absolutely. So we note that since the statement from the presidency came, there were some actions that were taken also in court. And the last of it was the interlocutory injunction that the Supreme Court dealt with at the previously, sometime last week. It was a 3-2 majority decision.
Right.
And this dismissed that interlocutory injunction from Vincent Ekoesifua. And then one by a private citizen was struck out because he himself was not even present in court to follow through with his own case and all of that. And we are being told that the reasoning of the other decision will be ready by 21st of May. Today is 15th of May. So yesterday, absolutely.
Six more minutes.
Six more days, yeah. So yesterday we had a communique. So after the interlocutory injunction has been dealt with, then it means that nothing stops the committee from going ahead to start its work. Yesterday we had a statement from the presidency communicating that the committee chaired by Justice Scott Gabriel Puaman will start sitting today, from today.
Right.
So beginning from today, they didn't give us any timelines as to when it will end. Director, let's project that statement and we'll share with you the content of what the statement from the presidency has been saying in relation to that particular in petitions that were brought to them. But Joshua, look at, when you check the petition, yesterday it's Wednesday, it was Wednesday, right?
Yes.
And was it 14 or 15?
Yeah.
So I think there's not an issue with the
Well,
date.
just a typo.
Absolutely.
So Felix, whoever typed this for you, let the person be very mindful of the dates.
Absolutely. So yesterday was the 14th of May 2025. Today is 15th. When I was going through, I was checking my my calendar again whether I was really absolutely. So from the presidency, this is what it says. It says that committee probing petitions against Chief Justice to begin hearing tomorrow. And this one was issued yesterday. So that tomorrow that we're talking about is today. And the content is that the committee set up by President John Dramani Mahama to inquire into 3 petitions filed against the Chief Justice will commence hearings tomorrow, Thursday, 15th May 2025. The 5-member committee chaired by Justice Gabriel Scott Puaman of the Supreme Court was set up by the President in accordance with Article 1466 of the 1992 Constitution and in a consultation with the Council of State following a determination of a prima facie case against the Chief Justice. It concluded by saying that the committee will sit 3 times a week and present their recommendation to the President upon completion of their work. And this one was signed by Felix Kwachi Ofosu, MP, spokesperson to the President, and also Minister, Government Communication. So that is the latest information. And 3 times in a week, Justice Puaman's committee will sit and deal with the issue. At the end, we'll be getting a recommendation, or a recommendation will be given to the President, and that is when we'll get to know the fate of the Chief Justice who has been suspended currently. So for those who are following and still monitoring the whole processes, this is where we are now. Today, that is May 15, the committee is beginning its work. And they will be sitting 3 times in the week. And we will be following through. What we do not know is whether we are going to get daily updates on the number of times that they will be sitting within the week or...
because we know it's not going to be televised.
Absolutely. It will be held in camera.
Right.
That is behind closed doors. So whoever, if you are not part of the committee and part of the team that will be working on this one, I'm not sure you will have the opportunity to enter. But we'll be lingering around, we'll be around, getting out whatever will be happening by way of all that will be happening around the petition, the hearing of the committee and all of that. So that's one of the things that we should keep an eye on today.
So away from that, the Abesim murder case.
The Abesim murder case.
There's been so much issue surrounding jury selection. What are they looking for?
They are looking for judges of facts who will sit through, listen to all the evidence that will be adduced by both parties, prosecution and the accused person. At the end of the day, they will come out with their verdict. And their verdict is what the courts would have to accept. In fact, their verdict is binding
right,
on the court. And somebody will ask, how are the jury selected? The jury or the jurors are selected by the accused person. All that the service will have to do is to get a lot of potential jurors in the courtroom. Their names are submitted. There's a box that they so do more like a ballot. They shake the ballot. Then the clerk will pick one. Joshua Kojo Mensah. Then you step forward. The accused person look at you and say, "Look, you are well dressed. You can be you're an educationist who have what's some bed in power. Then I don't like you. Then you go and sit down. Then I come out, look at me wearing an African print. It's okay. This guy can be this. Okay, I like him. That's how it is done.
Wow.
But in the course of selecting your jury men and women, you have the liberty to reject 3 without offering any reasons. Yesterday, Richard Appiah, anybody who is a woman, he says, no, I don't like you. Because women are emotional in that way. So yesterday, there was that drama. In fact, in the course of the empaneling, there were 10 potential jurors there. And before he gets the 7, he had already rejected 3. So they have to bring in more. And the more that there was 1 woman and 2 men. And the first name that they picked was a woman. He said no. In fact, before he even exhausted the 3rd one, the thing, the reason he gave was that women are emotional. And the nature of the case, he doesn't want the woman to sit on it.
Wow.
Then the additional 3 that they brought, there was also 1 woman. And when they did the balloting, it was the woman that they picked. And he rejected.
Wow.
And he assigned the same reason. And the reason must be convincing enough. And that, yesterday, Nana Medinkra, the principal state attorney, said that no, the accused person cannot be allowed to make such excuses or such reasons. And one of the reasons that you can give probably is say, yes, I know this person. He is my neighbor. I had a quarrel with him the last time. Exactly. And if he's allowed to sit on this case, I do not. Absolutely. So that's one that's a genuine reason. But to look at my gender and say that, look, no.
I'm emotional.
That one, it
he doesn't know that some men can be very emotional.
Absolutely. That's where he got it wrong.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he had his jury men. But unfortunately for him, 4 of them are women out of the 7. 4 of them are women and 3 are men. So his fears, I don't know what will go on. But what is clear that yesterday, the prosecution also, the parties, both prosecution and defense lawyer, addressed the jury. And in fact, there were emotional moments where they had to tell the court how one of the deceased teenagers has his body dismembered, stored in the refrigerator. The one said to be a half brother also was killed, and it was very, very terrible in court yesterday. The narration that were given by the prosecution, it was sad in the end. But the defense team also made up a case, and I urged the jury to pay attention to whatever will be happening. But at the end of the day, they are going to demonstrate to the court as well, to know that the accusations that have been leveled against Richard Appiah is not the case. And at the end, they will know why they should return a not guilty verdict. So this case, Justice Ruby Aite, who is presiding over the case, has adjourned it to June 3 for the trial to begin. And by way of the trial beginning, prosecution is calling the first 2 of its witnesses. And you know that because of the new jury reforms, things have been scheduled in a way that it has to be expeditious in the manner. So the court has already projected that by June 11, prosecution should conclude their case by way of, they made the point that they were calling 6 witnesses. And yesterday, case management completion plan or case completion plan was held, and then they concluded at that. And the court also think that later part of, we are in May, June, the court definitely will make a ruling on a submission of no case to find out whether the accused person will have to, after the conclusion of prosecution's case, enough has been made for Richard Appiah to open his defense. So that is what happened yesterday in relation to the Abesim murder, where Richard Appiah is accused of killing 2 teenagers and then had the body parts stored in the refrigerator.
Right. So I remember that some weeks ago we reported about some 41 people who had been arrested for illegal mining. We understand there's an update on that.
Yes. So you note that in April 16, 17, and 18, the police arrested some persons allegedly involved in Galamsey activities at the Tando River and also the Subiri River. Absolutely. So a total of 41 were arrested and then arraigned. Their plea were not taken at the time. They were remanded. And the first set had 29, and then the second set, 12 of them, including the first set has about 8 Chinese in there. The second set had about 4 women in there. There's the latest development that yesterday they were in court again. And as you can see on your screen, that was when they were leaving the premises of the court. You can see some of the Chinese involved in there. In respect of the 29, the set that has 29, 17 of them have been released, have been discharged by the court, leaving only 12. Following further investigation means that they are not really connected with the illegal mining activities, for which reason they were arrested. But in the midst, the Chinese were in there. So as you can see, those are the 12 that are including the Chinese components. They are in there. And the set with 12, literally all of them, 11 of them have been discharged. We're left with only one. So if you put the two together, then 28 of them have been released or have been discharged, with 13 of them set to face the law for mining without license and, of course, using ammunition, firearms and ammunition. So that's what happened. This case will come up again 27th of May 2025. So that's one of the things that also took place yesterday.
Nice. All right, so there's more. There's more in terms of what happened.
Yes.
And I remember that when I saw the post, I was like, whoa, this brings memories. Because, I'm a member of the Assemblies of God Church.
Assemblies of God Church. Yes. I wanted to ask you.
And our church in Tema Community 4.
Yes.
And one thing I should say is that right after the incident, it brought about some reforms in the church.
Oh, really?
Yes, security reforms. So now every church that must have security cameras. Yes, pastors have also been advised to take their security even more seriously than used to be the case. But we understand that there's been some level of conviction.
Absolutely. So yesterday, the High Court in Accra concluded on this very case involving a Reverend Minister, Assemblies of God Church, Tema, Community 4.
Yes.
He is alleged, in fact, his name is Reverend Dr. David Nabek Madu. Nabek Madu. So for those who remember, you forgive me if I did not get the name right. Nabek Madu. So that is him on your screens there. December 30, 2018. On a Sunday morning, he went to church just when he was preparing to go to the church to go and start his service. He got murdered. And the person who was arrested was Francis Nabek Madu. And so that's his nephew. And he is alleged. And if you listen to the kind of testimonies that came up in the court, it shocked you. He made the point that by way of his defense that he has heard the man make the point that his uncle actually did not trust any human being. He trusts the spirit more than human being. And he believed that it's the spirit that killed him and not him. Very interesting. Very, very interesting there. So yesterday, at the end of the trial, after Justice Mary Mambi Ikwe-Yenzu summed up the trial or the case for the jury, they went in there, deliberated on their decision and came back through the foreman to say that, yes, they have arrived at a decision. And what was the decision? The decision was unanimous, 7-0. And so, is it guilty or not guilty? Is that the decision is guilt. They returned a verdict of guilt. So, Francis Nabek Madu is guilty of murder. And as that short video will show you him being taken away. And that's his face when he was arrested. So, as per the law, if you are found guilty for murder, those days it used to be death sentence.
Yes.
So the court will order for you to be hanged. And that one, those days, it looked very scary. But now it is life imprisonment. And yesterday, before Justice Mary Yenzu sentenced him to life imprisonment, they asked him, what are your last words for the court? Or what do you want to say before the court sentenced you after he was convicted? He said he should be taken to his family in Yendi. And they went ahead to suggest to the court that he prefers him being taken to the Yendi prisons. That's where he wants to be. But the court is saying that now the job or the duty of the court is to convict and sentence you life imprisonment. Where you be, that is for the prison authorities to decide. So when you go in there, you can make that proposal to them and all of that. So that's how it ended yesterday, where the pastor, David Nabegmado, who was killed at Tema, Central, in fact, Assemblies of God Church. But yesterday, representative of the church were in court, as you can see through the video or the videos on your screen, were in church to monitor, and they were happy. Despite the fact that the man is not going to come back to life, they believe that when a decision like this comes out, it means that justice has been said. And for them, that is what they would share, all of that. Reverend Emmanuel Kwesi Ofori, who is the current head pastor at the Assemblies of God Church, Tema Committee 4, has been speaking to me.
This is a great news for the church for all these years waiting for a judgment to be served. And of a truth, the Lord has permitted it and has granted the late Reverend, who is resting at peace, for judgment. And all that we have to say now is that all the glory goes to God, because there were a lot of allegations, a lot of name calling and trying to malign people for this very act because of the closeness. I will end it here. My hierarchies will be coming with a press conference, and at that time they will call all of you to give you more details about this. But for now, it's a good news for the church. Justice has been served, 7-0 unanimous, and we thank God for everything. That's all that we want our people also to know, is that whatever you do, it will go against you. We've been looking for this for a very long time. But now that is served, that is all. The families will be coming together and with the hierarchy of the church, and they'll come with a final and to put a close to everything. For now, our things that need to be done, we'll put them into. The church is a family. So people come in, they go out, but now more surveillance will be put in place. And that is what we're doing now. So we don't take it for granted that when you come today, you can just enter any office. You have to be screened. You go through some scrutiny, so that things will be done perfectly. So we don't fall victim to this tragedy again.
That is the current head pastor of the community 4
Assemblies of God.
Absolutely, Assemblies of God. Reverend Emmanuel Kwesi Ofori speaking as to me there, and he made the point that you were telling me about. Now security issues have been taken very seriously in the church.
In my church, for instance, we even have a security committee.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we do. So all the police officers and army officers who are members of the church, they make up the committee. And then we do not leave things
for granted.
So I think if you want to come and misbehave, know that we will get you.
We will get you. I know that's how society grew. Anytime, wherever you get to, when there's a need for reforms, those things always come out. So that is the latest with respect to the Assemblies of God Church issues at Tema Community 4, where the pastor was killed. But
still to come.
Yeah, still to come. Martha and Kuma and Lewin. Do you enjoy, which of them do you enjoy most in terms of the when they are playing?
No, Martha.
You enjoy Martha.
Martha. I've had a long-standing crush on Martha.
Martha, yes. Yeah. She's you see Martha and like, you've known Martha for a very long time, but she's still who she is.
Yes.
16 years.
She's not changing.
Yeah, she's not changing. So that's one of the moments at the court with the lawyers and all of that. Yesterday, in fact, we'll bring you details of this particular case. I told you about the fact that there has been an agreement to settle the matter out of court. Yes. Absolutely. The parties were expected to come to court with the terms of settlement signed by both parties. That was the agreement. In fact, it was supposed to have been done April 1, and April 1 was holiday. So they went April 2 for dates to come on the 14th. And then the news to the court is that Lewin says that he will not sign. So we'll bring you up to give you details on that. So it means that the case have to take its normal course
Right.
in the courts. Today we'll bring you details of why GHOne is saying that he will not sign that particular settlement.
And that's him in the green, Captain.
Absolutely. So that was the last time that he appeared in court. Yesterday he didn't show up. It was only a lawyer that represented him and all of that. So Justice Forcing by Japan will be dealing with the issue and all of that. So we'll bring you, that is the story that we'll bring you today. To let you know why GHOne is saying that, no, I will not sign, and putting the whole case into another form that it has to be dealt with in open court and all of that. So that is all that I have for you by way of court today.
Solid,
it is
solid,
finished.
Solid,
yes,
solid.
it's finished.
Agbena. Murtala Inusah there with court today. Murtala, thank you so much.